What if I told you that your financial life isn't held back by a lack of money, but by too much mental clutter? Strange, right? Everyone thinks they need more opportunities, more capital, more luck. But almost no one realizes that the problem lies in the phrase they repeat every day without thinking. I can't. This little sentence has more power to destroy dreams than any economic crisis. Now, think about it. How can someone with no degree, no capital, and even no support turn things around, while others, with plenty of resources, remain mired in debt and frustration? It's no coincidence. It's a mental pattern. It's what Napoleon Hill said. First, the mind organizes itself, then life responds. It seems counterintuitive, but that's precisely why it works. And here's the provocation. You can spend your whole life collecting courses, spreadsheets, and promises from gurus. But if you don't change the way you talk to yourself, nothing will change. But the good news is that the change can start today, right now. In this video, you'll discover how to dismantle the phrases that sabotage you, install questions that open doors, and activate the silent loop of millionaire mentality. The rest comes later. Few people realize it, but every time they say I can't, they install a silent virus within their minds. This small, seemingly harmless phrase can drain energy, extinguish dreams, and block opportunities. It acts like a filter. The obedient brain begins to look only for proof of limitations, ignoring solutions that are within reach. That's why wealth thinking, it doesn't flourish in those who keep repeating, I can't. To unlock it, you need to change the key, replacing the limiting sentence with a powerful question. How can I? The curious thing is that this shift isn't just spiritual or philosophical, it's also scientific. Neuroscience explains that the so-called reticular activating system works like a radar. It filters the world according to what you give importance to. If you feed your mind with phrases of inability, the antenna will only pick up signals of defeat. But when it activates the positive mental attitude, asking, how can I? And the radar begins to hunt for solutions. It's like changing the radio station, from a blare of despair to a frequency of prosperity and abundance. Consider an everyday example. Someone says, I can't eat healthy because it's expensive. This phrase seals their fate before they even try. But if they ask, how can I create a healthy menu while spending less? They find farmers markets, discover that cooking in larger quantities and freezing reduces costs, and even turn the moment into a learning experience for their children. This is mental reprogramming for prosperity applied in everyday life. The same goes for those who say, I can't start a business without capital. When you replace that with, how can I start a business with what I already know? Ideas like offering editing services, tutoring, cooking for neighbors emerge. That's how you learn how to create wealth from scratch. And what's more, when this shift in language becomes a habit, it creates a spiral of confidence. People stop waiting for life to improve by chance and start taking the wheel of their own path. Napoleon Hill once said, whatever the human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But belief begins with the tone of the inner voice. When I can't is replaced by how can I, the brain opens a bright room where before there was only darkness. And it is precisely within this room that the first brick of the future is born. Millionaire mentality. Now, imagine, if just changing one sentence releases this kind of energy, what happens when a person starts cultivating the right question every day? That's the secret to the next step, understanding the real power of how can I, in which goes far beyond a simple change of language. When someone says, I can't, they close their heart and mind as if locking a door from the inside. But when they dare to change it to, how can I? And they install a secret code in their own brain. This simple question changes the game because it invites the mental radar to look for exits. It's the invisible gear of millionaire mentality. The person stops being a victim of circumstances and assumes the role of architect of their own future. And the most fascinating detail is that the body responds. The shoulders relax, the breath expands, and vital energy returns. Because now there is direction. Science calls this priming. The word you choose prepares the ground for perception. It's as if each how can I triggers the reticular activating system to hunt for hidden opportunities. Those who practice this experience discover firsthand the power of positive thinking. The question opens cracks of light in dark environments. Consider the story of a motorcycle courier who, instead of repeating, "I can't study," started asking, "How can I pay for a course?" Within weeks, he negotiated extra shifts, sold a broken-down bicycle, and split the tuition fee with a friend. 3 months later, he was already repairing motorcycles on Saturdays. This isn't luck, it's mental reprogramming for prosperity in action. This habit creates something even more profound, a new identity. Because it's not just about solving an immediate problem, but about reprogramming who the person believes they are. When someone asks, "How can I better serve my customers?" and they already start thinking, like the rich, expanding perception and value. Geraldo Rufino did this when he looked at scrap metal and asked, "How can I make money with this?" The same spirit moved Marta, our soccer star, when she decided to practice fundamentals until her body obeyed without thinking. Questions shape destiny, because each answer paves the way for new habits, and habits create concrete evidence that prosperity and abundance are possible. And the beautiful thing is that this logic works in any area: health, career, relationships, finances. A single mother in Feira de Santana, for example, when asking, "How can I generate income without abandoning my children?" discovered she could sell fitness meals in the neighborhood. The "how can I" transforms difficulties into ladders, limitations into levers. And if a question has this power, imagine when we learn to replace every excuse with a practical strategy. This is precisely the next step in the journey. There is a quiet power that many people underestimate: the ability to mentally rehearse what you want before it even happens. Creative imagination for wealth. It's not an escape from reality. It's a tool for construction. Great athletes already know this. Rebecca Andrade visualizes the jump before stepping onto the platform. Ayrton Senna walked through every curve of the track in his mind before the race. This practice is the same one that awakens the millionaire mentality for those who are just starting out. Because when the brain believes the internal movie, the body finds the courage to execute. Neuroscience shows that the brain doesn't differentiate as well between what is experienced and what is intensely rehearsed. When someone closes their eyes and imagines presenting their business proposal, hearing the client accept it, and signing the contract, the activated circuits are almost the same as in the real situation. It's as if they create anticipatory neural pathways, facilitating the action when the moment arrives. This is one of the secrets of the millionaire mind. Train inside before exposing yourself outside. The result is Orwell's thinking firmer, free from the bonds of financial self-sabotage. A Brazilian example helps illustrate. Lucia, a seamstress from Belo Horizonte, always stuttered when stating the price of orders. She decided to practice daily. She closed her eyes, saw herself adjusting the ribbon on the customer's shoulder, calmly stating the price and maintaining silence. In 4 weeks, her voice steadied, the average ticket went up, and the "I'll think about it" turned into "I'll do it with you." This is power of positive thinking with method, not self-deception. With each rehearsed scene, she reinforced her mental reprogramming for prosperity, exchanging anxiety for confidence. This is where routine practice comes in. 15 minutes a day is enough. 2 minutes of breathing, 5 minutes of guided imagination of a specific scenario, a pitch, a sale, a negotiation. 3 minutes of gratitude for small victories, and 5 minutes of planning. This simple ritual creates congruence between intention, emotion, and action. Law of financial attraction. It stops being just a concept and becomes a daily practice. You think, feel, and act in the same direction. And if imagination is capable of aligning the invisible with the visible, what happens when a person connects this to a concrete action plan, capable of transforming an idea into a tangible result? It's easy to maintain a millionaire mentality when everything goes right, but the real test comes on the days when nothing seems to work. Intelligent persistence is not that blind stubbornness that insists on the same closed door, but the wisdom to adjust the course without abandoning the destination. This is where wealth thinking differs from common discouragement. While most people think it didn't work, it's over, Those who practice positive mental attitude ask, how can I learn from this setback? This change in attitude transforms the pain into a map and the setback into fuel for the next step. Napoleon Hill taught that when a plan fails, it's not the dream that dies. It's just the plan that needs surgery. Bob Proctor reinforced that financial self-sabotage appears just when the going gets tough, pulling the person back into the old pattern. Intelligent persistence is recognizing this pattern, dismantling the limiting beliefs about money, and realign with purpose. Consider the example of Ronaldo Fenomeno. After serious injuries, many said his career was over. He chose to ask, how can I come back stronger? The result was a World Cup title that went down in history. A vivid portrait of focus and discipline for wealth applied to sport. In everyday practice, this persistence manifests itself in small gestures. Imagine the entrepreneur who organizes a bazaar, but almost no one shows up. Instead of wallowing in the thought of, it didn't work out, she asks, how can I turn this event into a learning experience? She discovers she can gather feedback from the few customers, test prices, and photograph products to sell online. This is solution thinking, not problem thinking. A law of financial attraction. It doesn't just work on sunny days. It's activated when the mind insists on aligning intention, faith, and action, even in the rain. Persisting intelligently is dancing with the wind, not fighting it. And there's an even deeper detail. On bad days, you need to protect your inner flame. The Bible reminds us, if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. Proverbs 24:10. Strength here isn't noise, it's consistency. It's choosing a minimal action that honors the plan, sending a proposal, reviewing your goals notebook, working out for 20 minutes even when tired. This respect for micro-commitments maintains mental reprogramming for prosperity live, even when the world seems to be falling apart. And if intelligent persistence sustains the mind on difficult days, the next step is learning to convert that breath into a clear plan of execution, where each idea transforms into a tangible result. There is no point in cultivating or wealth thinking powerful if it never crosses the bridge to practice. This is where many stumble. They dream big, visualize intensely, but don't translate vision into action. Millionaire mentality, it flourishes when every idea finds a corresponding gesture, however small. Faith without works is dead, as scripture says. And here it's not about haste or noisy heroism, but about sobriety, putting a simple plan on paper, choosing the 3 actions that really move the needle, and executing them consistently. The secret is to unite the creative imagination for wealth with the calendar. Visualizing the scene is important, but scheduling the next step is essential. Think of Ayrton Senna, who walked the track before the race, studying every corner. Or Marta, practicing fundamentals until they became second nature. The same goes for anyone who wants to how to create wealth from scratch. It's not improvisation, it's method. You envision the sale happening, but you also set aside time to make the calls, organize the spreadsheet, and deliver the product. This congruence between vision and practice is the root of mental reprogramming for prosperity. In real Brazil, this appears in simple and powerful examples. Vanessa, a confectioner from Maceió, had a steady stream of orders and was constantly struggling. She decided to implement a minimal routine, recording each order, mapping out the best-selling flavors, and organizing natural photos to promote. Within a few weeks, she realized that her jar cakes sold more in the late afternoon, and that walk-in deliveries expanded her clientele. What changed wasn't luck, but the decision to turn intuition into action. This is one of the secrets of the millionaire mind, not negotiating with your own word. When you fulfill the commitments you made to yourself, you weaken the financial self-sabotage and strengthens the confidence that prosperity and abundance are possible. And here comes the crucial point. Sobriety is choosing quality, not quantity. It's not about doing 100 tasks in desperation, but about defining the few that truly generate returns and protecting them like treasures. It is in this discipline that power of positive thinking materializes into tangible results. And if thinking big already opens horizons, acting clearly makes opportunities multiply. But what ensures this routine stays alive isn't just the plan. It's the ability to create a virtuous cycle, a true millionaire loop, where each small victory fuels the next. Few people realize that every solid transformation is born from a cycle. Millionaire loop is exactly that. A repeated movement that gains strength until it becomes a lifestyle. It works like this. You have a clear intention, act on it, gather positive evidence, and that evidence reinforces the belief that it's possible. This belief, in turn, strengthens the next intention. This simple rotation sustains the millionaire mentality and builds all-wealth thinking increasingly robust. It's the difference between those who just want it and those who turn desire into a habit. Imagine João, a delivery driver from Fortaleza. At first, he cycled long distances, always tired and without a return. One day he decided to ask, how can I earn an extra 600 reais without burning out? The first lap of the loop brought a simple answer: optimize his routes. The second generated a better idea: create a digital menu for partner restaurants. The third led him to broker orders via WhatsApp, earning commission. Each action generated results. Each result fueled a stronger belief. Within a few months, João not only had more income, but also a new identity. That of someone capable of how to create wealth from scratch. This cycle also strengthens when a person decides to serve better. The Bible says, "Give, and it will be given to you." Luke 6:38. When you ask, how can I add more value? You set an invisible gear in motion. Customers recommend you, neighbors comment, suppliers offer better deals. It's not magic, it's reciprocity. And herein lies one of the greatest secrets of the millionaire mind, a law of financial attraction. It's not just mental, it's relational. The more value you multiply, the more life gives back. This creates a flow in which prosperity and abundance, they cease to be theory and become daily experience. The thing is, this loop needs consistency. On good days, it spins naturally. On bad days, you need to choose to keep it active. Write down a small victory, repeat an affirmation, review your plan, give thanks for something simple. This practice prevents financial self-sabotage and limiting beliefs about money. Take charge. The loop is like the dawn. It starts out shy, but the more it spins, the more light it sheds. And the question that arises now is inevitable. If each turn of this cycle strengthens your identity and your income, what happens when we tie all these steps together into an engaging introduction, capable of pulling you by the heart from the very first minute? When the journey reaches this point, it's no longer just theory, but living practice. What began as curiosity about millionaire mentality now reveals itself as a daily discipline, supported by better questions, conscious choices, and small actions that add up. The wealth thinking stops being a distant idea and becomes routine, waking up with purpose, organizing the day, honoring commitments, and reviewing achievements. It is in this cadence that mental reprogramming for prosperity stops being a rehearsal and becomes a tangible reality. The most interesting thing is realizing that, by applying these steps, one begins to see the world differently. What was once an obstacle becomes a building block. What seemed like a crisis becomes an opportunity. It's as if the universe, faith, and one's own efforts begin to speak the same language. Law of financial attraction, it works exactly like this. When intention, emotion, and action align, results appear. Not because life has become easy, but because the eye has become trained. It is the moment when prosperity and abundance, they come as a natural consequence of mature choices. But we need to take the next step, consolidate this learning into a life plan. Because only those who sustain focus and discipline for wealth can navigate the ups and downs without losing your bearings. The journey doesn't end here. On the contrary, a new stage opens up where each victory, no matter how small, fuels the next. This is the essence of Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Understanding that the cycle never stops, it only deepens. And the big question remains, how can we transform all of this into a powerful introduction, capable of engaging from the very first minute, generating identification, and opening space for transformation? Now that you have seen how the mind is the true engine of prosperity and abundance, I need to ask you, will you continue to feed the same phrases that sabotage you? Or will you choose to ask questions that open doors? Because in the end, life responds to what you decide to think and say. And if until now you've been saying I can't, now is the time to change that to how can I? So tell me in the comments, which I can't will you bury today? And which how can I will guide your next action? Write it down, because when you record it, your brain understands it's serious. This could be your first lever of action, mental reprogramming for prosperity. And of course, if this content touched you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because if there's a secret that secrets of the millionaire mind, what they teach is simple. When you change on the inside, everything starts to fall into place on the outside. And the question remains, will you let this opportunity pass you by, or will you choose to turn the key today? If this video spoke deeply to you, I have a special gift for you. Imagine having in your hands a complete kit with everything you need to accelerate your journey to prosperity. I'm talking about Millionaire Mindset Master Kit, an exclusive combo of ebooks, audios, and challenges that bring together the greatest secrets of the millionaire mindset. Inside it, you will find the Guide Millionaire morning routine to start each day as the big winners, the Law of Attraction for Wealth, a step-by-step guide to applying the Law of Attraction to money. Think like a millionaire, which brings the best of Napoleon Hill with applicable exercises. In the program 30 Days to a Rich Mindset, a daily plan to shape your mind for good. But it doesn't stop there. You'll also have audio from affirmations for wealth and abundance, guided meditations of Law of Attraction, guided meditations, and practical training Millionaire Habits Bootcamp. In addition, the course, The Science of Getting Rich, Explained, based on the Wallace Wattles classic. To close, you still receive 2 transformative challenges, the 21-Day Wealth Manifestation Challenge and the 90 Days to Financial Freedom. Practical plans that combine mindset and productivity. And as an exclusive bonus, Letters of Attraction, ready-made affirmations in PDF format to print or use on your cell phone. This is the kit that can accelerate your transformation and put you on the right path to prosperity. The link is in the description. Click now and get yours. Millionaire Mindset Master Kit. Because the future you want doesn't start tomorrow. It starts today with the decision you make now.